So, okay, thank you very much. I think before we proceed, we need our colleagues to introduce themselves so that we can start national anthem.
May we please rise for the national anthem? Thank you. No, it's always too long. It's not, Thank you very much. May we please take our seats? Your Excellency, the President of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, represented by the Chairman of the Senate Committee on Navy, Senator Olubenga Daniels, the Chairman of the Senate Committee on Tertiary Institutions and TED Fund with members of the House of Representatives, representatives of various ministries and other government agencies, our royal fathers, other stakeholders, the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we welcome you to the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for this very important public hearing that will be looking into 5 bills, establishment of various institutions to save time. It is on that note, I now invite, having said the opening prayer, I will now invite the chairman of this committee to please approach the podium and welcome us. Let's welcome distinguished Senator Dandutse Mohammed.
Thank you very much. I think before we do the welcome address, it is important our colleagues to introduce themselves. We can start from the right.
Mr. Chairman, my respected colleagues, royal fathers, and guests, our guests. My name is Mustafa Habib. I represent Jigawa Southwest, a member of this committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, our guests. My name is Senator Ibrahim Khalid. I represent Kaduna North Senatorial District from Kaduna State, a member of this committee.
Thank you, Chairman, my colleagues, invited guests. Where there is a north, there is a south. I represent the people of Kaduna South Senatorial District, Sunday Marshal Katun. Thank you.
My chairman of the Senate Committee on TED Fund and Tertiary Education, distinguished invited guests, particularly the Bongom of Jos and other first-class chiefs from Plateau, I am Senator Dicket Blanc, Senator representing Plateau Central Senatorial District. Thank you for this opportunity.
Our chairman, very distinguished colleagues, I am Otumba Benga Daniel, representing Ogun East Senatorial District. I am also standing in today for the Senate President.
Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, our royal fathers, distinguished guests, I'm Nasir Hussain Zangondaura. I represent Katsina North.
Mr. Chairman, distinguished senators, I am Representative Salisu Garba Koko, representing Mayama Koko Bese Para constituency. I'm from Kebbi State. Thank you.
I will now invite the chairman of the Senate Committee on Tertiary Institutions and Third Fund to please approach the podium for his welcome remarks.
Good afternoon. I'm Senator Anduse Muntar Mohammed, representing Katsina South. By the leave of the Senate, I'm the Chairman Senate Committee on Tertiary Institutions and Third Fund. Distinguished colleagues, our esteemed guests, and members of the public, it is with honor and responsibility that I welcome you all to this significant public hearing on critical bills before the committee today. Our agenda is focused on advancing education, technology, and industry in our greater nation through the establishment and reformation of key educational institutions. Today we will deliberate on the following bills. And one, the Federal College of Aviation Technology, Ilaro, Remo, Ogun State Establishment Bill 2024, SB 52. With this bill, we aim to establish a federal college dedicated to aviation technology in Ila Ramo, Ogun State, positioning Nigeria as a leader in aviation education and training within the region. The second bill is the bill of the Federal University Birnin Kebbi Establishment Bill 2024, SB 224. The bill aims to establish a new federal university in Birnin Kebbi State, which will play a pivotal role in expanding higher education opportunity and fostering academic excellence in the region. The third bill is the Federal University of Applied Science, Manchok, Kaduna State Establishment Bill 2024, SB 13. The bill proposed the creation of a university specializing in applied science in Manchok, Kaduna State to drive innovation, research, and development in practical science discipline. The fourth bill, the Nigerian Institute of Mining and Geoscience Repeal and Enactment Bill 2024, SB 12. This bill seeks to repeal and reenact the existing legislation to enhance the capacity and effectiveness of the Nigerian Institute of Mining and Geoscience, ensuring it meets current industry standard and advance our nation exploration and scientific research. The fifth bill is the Federal University of Technology, Ilaro, Ogun State Establishment Bill 2024, SB 345. This bill intends to establish a university in Ilaro, Ogun State, aimed at producing skilled graduates who will contribute significantly to technological advancement and industrial growth in Nigeria. As we commence the public hearing, I urge all stakeholders, including education experts, industry leaders, community representatives, and concerned citizens to actively participate and share their insight. Your contribution are invaluable to ensure that this legislation meets the need and aspiration of our people. Together, let us work to build a brighter future for Nigeria through strategic investment in education, technology, and industry. Before we commence, after extensive deliberation and after wider consultation, and considering the fact the unfortunate situation we find ourselves for losing one of our colleagues, it is in line with our core mandate that we suspend our legislative functions. That is why the chamber is now closed. But considering the fact of our esteemed guests that came from far away, some of them even live from UK to come to this very important event, and also some of them from far away within the country, they came to this very important event. We've talked, it is not good we should disappoint our esteemed guests. So that is why we want to make it short and precise and brief, so that the movers of the bill, the sponsor of the bills, will be responsible to address all other correspondence will be liaised to the committee, so that we can save time and also mourn our colleague that we just finished prayer and also do a 1 minute silence for him. I think it's unfortunate, and that is why we will not have liberty of time to take each and every person that comes here today to make his presentation for this very important event. And we are going to also step down bills senators sponsored, since they are not around, because we are not supposed to take them. We have more than 20 bills. We will put them in the subsequent public hearing. Thank you very much, and God bless Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Chairman, Senate Committee on Tertiary Institutions and TED Fund. Before we proceed, I'd like to make two announcements. The first announcement is to respectfully plead with us to put our mobile phones on the silent mode to avoid distractions in the course of the business, please. And secondly, to recognize another distinguished senator, Senator B. Odebi. Senator B. Odebi at the extreme, we recognize you. We now move to the next item on the program, which will be address of His Excellency, the President of the Senate, who is being stood in for by the Chairman, Senate Committee on Navy, Senator Otumba Olugbanga Daniels. Please, sir, let's welcome the representative of the President of the Senate.
Our most distinguished chairman of this great committee, the Committee on Tertiary Institutions and Third Fund, most distinguished Senator Danduse Muntari Mohammed, I recognize you. I must also see this opportunity to thank our chairman, because I am aware that he came back early this morning from an overseas tour in order to be present. I recognize all the stakeholders and, of course, all the various representatives of other agencies that are here, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Permit me to read the address of the President of the Senate, who has to quickly go and attend another very urgent national assignment. Good afternoon, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you all for honoring the Senate Committee on Tertiary Institutions and Third Funds to be here for this important event leading to the enactment of a legal framework of the following bills. 1. The Federal University Benin Kabi Establishment Bill 2024 SB 224. 2. The Nigerian Institute of Mining and Geosciences Repeal and Enactment Bill 2024 5B12. 3. The Federal College of Aviation Technology, Ilararemo, Ogun State, Establishment Bill 2024 5B52. 4. The Federal University of Applied Sciences, Manchok in Kaduna State, for SB, and revamping the Nigerian education sector. I also commend the painstaking effort of the sponsor of these five bills. This effort is in line with our mandate to review the availability of substances. It is a global best practice of remedying them through appropriate government actions. I am confident that greater input is expected from you as Nigerians, most especially stakeholders in the education sector and representatives of the host communities who are in a better position to air their views on the need to establish these schools, as well as the benefit derived from the institutions. On its part, the Senate will not relent in giving Nigerians impactful legislations in ensuring access to education for all across the country. Let me assure you that the Senate Committee on Tertiary Institutions and Funds, at this junction,
The Chairman, Senate Committee on Navy, Senator Otumba Olugbanga Daniels. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we'll call on to be presented to us by Senator Masha Katon, Kaduna South Senatorial District.
We are represented by invited guests. Let me especially recognize our traditional rulers and also recognize the governor of my state and the deputy who are here represented, and a very large delegation from Kaduna State that I Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have rightly titled my presentation, "We Stand to Make History Today." Reason being that the establishment of this federal university will be the first federal presence in my senatorial district. Today's public hearing by the Senate Committee on Tertiary Institutions and TETFON on the proposed Federal University of Applied Sciences, Manchok, Kaduna State, is a historic event in our collective pursuit of knowledge. As Benjamin Franklin once said, investing in knowledge is the key to future prosperity. We are here not only to witness, but also to actively participate in this pivotal moment in the educational advancement of Kaduna South Senatorial District and by extension, Kaduna State and Nigeria. The establishment of this university with its unique focus on applied science holds immense promise for us. Given the transformative role education plays in the development of every nation and society, this university is posed to channel the untapped potential of individuals into the most beneficial avenues of growth, offering a beacon of hope for our collective future. Our urgent need to establish the Federal University of Applied Sciences, Manchok, is underscored by the stark reality that despite the significant population of my senatorial district, the opportunities for tertiary education are severely limited. Many of our ambitious students are forced to seek tertiary education outside the state. This pressing issue further accentuates the necessity of a federal tertiary institution within my senatorial district. In addition, this Federal University of Applied Sciences has the objectives of providing the following: 1, instruction, training, and research in applied sciences that will produce technicians and skilled personnel required for related industries within and outside the country, as opposed to the regular theory in normal or regular universities. 2, it will also act as agents and catalysts through postgraduate training, research, and innovation for the effective and economic utilization, exploitation, and conservation of our country's natural, economic, and human resources. This will not only enhance our national development, but also stimulate the local economy, creating job opportunities and fostering growth. 3, it will also encourage the advancement of learning and to hold out to all persons without distinction of race, creed, sex, or political conviction the opportunity of acquiring a higher education in applied sciences. The Federal University of Applied Sciences is designed to identify and address society's technological challenges and needs. It aims to provide solutions within the context of national development, thereby playing a crucial role in shaping our future. To equally provide and promote sound basic scientific training as a foundation for the development of technology and applied sciences, taking into account indigenous culture and the need to enhance national unity. It will disseminate to the public and industries any results of the research or studies in developments pertaining to any branch of applied sciences. It will collaborate with other similar institutions within and outside Nigeria for the realization of its mandates. Finally, it was establish appropriate relationships with other national and international institutions involved in training, research, and development of studies in the areas of applied sciences, among other objectives. If we consider all the above objectives and situate them in an environment lacking them, the result will be poverty, unemployment, poor health, shorter life expectancy, gender inequality, and a poor economy. Education, apart from being an integral part of any modern society, is also a fundamental human right for everyone. That's why with the proposed Federal University of Applied Sciences, Manchok, we would be entrenching the right for everyone from the privileged position that tertiary education has been in my zone. I also want to thank our former group managing director, Engineer Andrew Yakubu, who has always encouraged the education of our students in the sciences, for finding time to also be here with us. I thank you so much. With this, history has been made by this committee with the proposed establishment of the Federal University of Applied Sciences, Manchok, in Kaduna State. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, distinguished Senator Sunday Marshall Katung. Next, we'll be listening to distinguished Senator Solomon Adela Olamilekon, Ogun West Senatorial District, to talk to us about the Federal University of Technology, Ilaro, Ogun State. Distinguished Senator Olamilekon.
The Chairman, Senate Committee on Education, the distinguished members of this committee, Your Excellency, the former governor of Ogun State, and now senator representing Ogun East, our invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I stand before you today as the sponsor of a bill seeking the establishment of Federal University of Technology, Ilaro, Ogun State, on today, Tuesday, the 16th July, 2024. I am delighted to once again appear before this important committee on this important bill for the establishment of Federal University of Technology, Ilaro, through the upgrade of an existing tertiary institution, namely the Federal Polytechnic, Ilaro. I recall that I presented the bill in the 8th Senate, and it was read for the first time in the Alu chambers of the Senate on 6 April 2017, but could not proceed further following the commencement of the 9th Senate. I once again presented the bill, and it was read for the first time on the 15th October 2019. Unlike in the 8th Senate, the bill passed through the second and the third reading and eventual passage into law by the 9th Senate. The bill was referred to the House of Representatives for concurrence, but this is not happened until the end of the 9th National Assembly. On the merit of the case for the upgrade of the Federal Polytechnic Ilaro to Federal University of Technology Ilaro, I once again presented the bill afresh for passage accordingly to our tradition. Notwithstanding its passage by the Ninth Senate, I look forward to an eventual passage and assent during this 10th National Assembly. Mr. Chairman, my distinguished colleague, the imperative for this establishment of this technology university is informed mostly by the expansion and development of the Polytechnic that was established in 1979, some 38 years ago, as well as the latitude for massive expansion in terms of vast land space. It is worthy of note that the Polytechnic has many infrastructural facilities which many state-owned universities and probably private-owned universities cannot boast of. Ironically, those states and the newly established federal university have today been granted a National University Commission accreditation and are running courses at full-fledged universities. For emphasis, let me restate that the university, when established, will, among other things, 1, encourage the advancement of learning and to hold out of all persons without distinction of race, creed, sex, or political conviction. 2, develop and offer academic and professional programs leading to award of certificate, first degree, postgraduate research, diploma, and higher degrees with emphasis on planning, developmental and adaptive skills in technology, applied sciences, and allied professional discipline. 3, produce mature technologies of higher cadre and capacity not only to understand the technological need of Nigeria as a nation, but to exploit existing technological infrastructure and improve on it to develop the new ones. 4, collaborate with other national and international institutions involved in training and development of technology with a view of promoting governance, leadership, and management skills among technologists. 4, identify the technological need of the society with a view to finding solutions to them within the context of overall national development. Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleague, let me say that in our ongoing developmental drive, our economy requires a high level of technical, scientific, and technological skill for its effective operation. There is therefore the need for establishment of our own technology university to produce adequate human resources if we are not to continue to rely on foreigners at a very huge cost. It is also worthy to note that the establishment of this university will go a long way in providing human resources to the major industrial center in Nigeria within the short distances to its location in Ilaru, namely the Agbara Ota Industrial Estate, the Ikeja Industrial Estate, as well as the Lekki Industrial Complex unraveling before us. Furthermore, the establishment of the university in Ogun State will also go a long way in balancing the spread of educational infrastructure in the state and other parts of the nation. Among the 3 senatorial districts of Ogun State, the senatorial district where this proposed university is sited is the only one without a state or federal government-owned university, with the 2 other senatorial districts having an upward of 2 state or federal government-owned universities located therein. However, it is noteworthy that none of these universities located in the state are technology-based universities. I have no doubt that the enactment of this bill will help in transforming technological education fortune of Nigeria through upgrade of the developed institution of the Federal Polytechnic, Ilaru. Once again, I thank you for listening, and I say God bless you.
Thank you very much, Senator Adeola Solomon Olamilekun. The next we shall be listening to will be Senator Otumba Olugbenga Daniels. He'll be talking to us on the Federal College of Aviation Technology in Remo, Ogun State.
Good afternoon once again, and permit me to extend all protocols duly established. I was wearing the cap of the Senate President earlier on, and now I have another cap as the person who is presenting this bill for the establishment of the Federal College of Aviation Technology, Remo, in Ogun State. I'm elated to be here at this public hearing of our committee, the Senate Committee on Tertiary Institutions and Third Fund, as the sponsor of this bill for an act to establish the Federal College of Aviation Technology in Remo, Ogun State, and related matters, SB/52. You will recall that this bill was first read on the floor of the Nigerian Senate on the 10th of October 2023, and the second reading on the 15th of November 2023. This bill essentially aims to upgrade an existing technical college to a fully fledged Federal College of Aviation Technology in order to provide full-time courses in various specializations in the aviation industry and to make provision for the general administration of the college and the related matters. Let me tell you, dear stakeholders, that one of the important things that favor this bill is that once passed, this will establish the first presence of any federal institution in our senatorial district of Ogun East. Let me also inform our stakeholders that it is also going to be the first aviation school in all the southern states of Nigeria. No doubt, Nigeria has made significant progress in aviation technology, yet there are still challenges to address. These include the need for continued investment in infrastructure development, the enhancement of safety and security measures, and the promotion of research and innovation in aviation technology. By addressing these challenges, Nigeria can further strengthen its aviation sector, boost economic growth, and promote connectivity both domestically and internationally. The establishment of the Aviation Technology College in Remo, Ogun State, will no doubt boost academic training and researches in the areas of aircraft maintenance, air traffic control, pilot training, while complementing the existing Nigerian College of Aviation in Zaria. Interestingly, Ogun State government, as you might be aware, already has an existing Gateway International Agro-Cargo Airport in Remo, and also planning an aerotropolis, a city whose development will be centered around the airport. The existing technical college in Remo is in disuse and can conveniently begin to offer the courses for the Federal College of Aviation Technology in Remo, which effectively means not talking of a green field and the need to begin to go and look for land to start something new. There are already existing infrastructures which are not being used, which can be converted, and if you so approve, I thank my constituents home to be part of this public hearing. Our KBC, represented by Adele, is here, and the maturity and stability he has offered. I want to once again appreciate our chairman, The chairman of these procedures
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Next will be distinguished Senator Adamu Alero, Kebbi Central, to talk to us about the Federal University Benin Kebbi State Establishment Bill. Senator Alero. Who's not? You see cameras there. There's just one camera. See three cameras. Nothing here obstructs the person talk.
If I stand here, I'm going to cover it. No, I can know you. Like the camera will tell me that I can. No.
My distinguished colleagues, in particular the chairman of the Senate Committee on Tertiary Education, distinguished senators and members of the Committee of Tertiary Education, the vice chancellors that are here, I don't know how many, but I understand there are so many vice chancellors, very distinguished personalities, members of the First Estate of the realm. Good afternoon to all of you. The bill I'm about to sponsor is about the establishment of Federal University, Benin Kebbi. It is interesting to know that this bill, so that the university has already been established. It was established as far back as 2013. It has been operating without a legal framework. I sponsored this bill in the 9th Senate. It scaled through the first reading, second reading, and public hearing. It was even passed, but unfortunately, Mr. President could not attend to it. And by the nature and tradition of the Senate, anything that has not been assented by the President, it has to start again. So I therefore sponsor this bill with the hope that it will scale through the third reading and it will be assented by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Mr. Chairman, the Federal University Benin Kebbi was established by federal government in Benin Kebbi in 2013, together with two other universities, namely Federal University Gashua, that is in Yobe State, Federal University Zamfara in Gusau. It is interesting to note that I was a governor of Kebbi State, where the university is located. Kebbi State happens to be one of the less educationally developed states. It is therefore with great optimism that we welcome its establishment in the state. It is therefore my pleasure to sponsor the bill for the enactment of enabling law for the university that will not only benefit development of education in Kebbi State, but the country in general. Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, permit me to inform the committee that with the approval of the National University Commission, academic activities started in the university during the 2014-2015 academic session, and the